Sporting a Tampa Bay Lightning jersey, Jake Paul wasted no time going after his next opponent, 7-0 boxer Tommy Fury, the half-brother of heavyweight champ Tyson Fury. On the biggest stage possible in front of millions, this young man will crack. He's not battle-tested like me, Paul proclaimed from O'Malley Arena. Don't forget to watch today's video to the very end for finding Jake Paul saying Tom Fury is scared to fight. Paul, a 24-year-old social media star, is 4-0 in the squared circle, although he's never faced a true boxer. He's coming off a decisive victory in his last fight against former UFC champ Tyron Woodley. Paul, loathed by his critics, says he wants to change the sport. "I think boxers need to make content. They need to be on TikTok," Paul said. "They need to learn how to brand themselves. I'm not nervous at all for Tommy as well. I just don't see how Tommy can get it done. I have my opinions. I just don't think he has it." "He's pretending to have it," said Logan Paul, Jake's older brother. "I've mastered putting on a show. That's what I did my entire life, and I'm bringing that into boxing because there needs to be a little spunk," Jake continued. Tommy Fury responds. Joining via Zoom, Tommy Fury didn't take too kindly to the jabs from the Paul brothers. "I'm gonna splatter this man December 18, Fury insisted. "One way or another, one of them will experience a potentially career-altering first loss and set social media on fire." As for why Tampa was chosen as the host city, baby Florida is one of the greatest states in the world. "Shout out to DeSantis. Look at the weather. Look at the view," Paul exclaimed. Paul says he also wants to raise awareness of boxing's female fighters, which is why the co-main event will feature Amanda Serrano, one of the best female boxers in the world, full of belief. Tommy Fury, also unbeaten, is likewise full of self-belief, and so he should be. The former Love Island contestant will have legendary trainer Sugar Go Stewart in his corner alongside older brother Tyson Fury. The 33-year-old has already started training younger brother Tommy ahead of next month's fight. After the first morning session on Monday, Tyson said in a social media video, "Just finished my first day as a trainer, really happy with myself and the way things went. All the boys trained hard. How was it, Tommy? How you feeling?" Tommy replied, "The run this morning was good. Good leg work, feeling good, feeling fit. Trainer T is doing the best job." Tyson then asked, "What's happening to Jake Paul?" To which Tommy replied, "You're getting knocked spark out. 2 rounds." Hours later, Logan Paul and his brother Jake starred in a video mocking the Furies. Forget about boxing. Back in October, Tyson Fury promised to retire his brother from boxing if he cannot defeat Jake Paul in December. In fact, he said Tommy would have to change his last name if he loses to the American YouTube personality. "If Tommy can't splatter Jake Paul, I'll retire him from boxing myself. If he can't beat Jake Paul, forget about boxing," Fury told Boxing Social. "Because he's got ambitions of being a world champion. Never mind beating some YouTube guy. But it's a great fight for the social media world and for all the kids out there who support them both. It's a great fight to watch. It's a spectacle. But Tommy, his name's Fury. If he can't beat Jake Paul, I'll have to change his name." Jake Paul, meanwhile, believes Tommy Fury will crack under pressure in their fight next month. "He's only been put in there with opponents that were meant to lose," said Paul at this weekend's press conference. "This is his first real test where its opponent isn't some guy who is just going to flop over. He has no idea what he's getting himself into. This is his first time under the big lights on the big stage, and he's going to crack under pressure." Calling him out, Jake Paul immediately called out Molly Mee Hague on social media after his huge boxing showdown with Tommy Fury was confirmed. The YouTube star will be facing Fury on December 18 after months of feuding, and it promises to be a fiery encounter. Fury took to social media to tell Paul his days were numbered in Hague, who met Fury on Love Island, then posted the fight poster captioned, "Time to get the job done, baby." Paul's girlfriend, Julia Rose, then said, "All right, let's make a bet then." The 24-year-old then said, "She won't." The leak. It isn't the first time the problem child has gone at it with Molly Mee after leaking a series of DMs from her earlier this year. In a fiery rant posted on social media, Jake took aim at Tommy and the Fury family before rounding off the clip with an apparent screenshot of an old message he received from Molly Mee. "Oh, and one last thing, Tommy. You should be more worried about your girls sliding into a bunch of dudes' DMs than you should be fighting me." The pair will tussle in an 8-round contest, and their first media event will happen on November 6. Paul is undefeated in boxing and last fought against Tyron Woodley in August. Fury fought on the undercard of that event, defeating Anthony Taylor. There's a lot on the line for 22-year-old Fury, who has been told to be stripped of his name. I offered Fury to change his name to Tommy Fumbles or put up $500,000 in his purse if he loses, Paul told ESPN. He chose to agree to change his name. Guess he puts more value on money than he does his own family name. Maybe he knows his family is disowning him once he loses, so money and me is all he's going to have left. Jake Paul has questioned whether Tommy Fury has a heart like his brother Tyson Fury and believes his British rival will crack under pressure in their grudge fight. The American social media sensation will settle his heated feud with Fury when they share the ring in Tampa on December 18. Fury has a 7-fight unbeaten record, but Paul was quick to pour scorn on his opponent's previous victories. Fury has a 7-fight unbeaten record, but Paul was quick to pour scorn on his opponent's previous victories. He's only been put in there with opponents that were meant to lose, said Paul at the kickoff press conference. This is his first real test where his opponent isn't some guy who is just going to flop over. He has no idea what he's getting himself into. This is his first time under the big lights on the big stage, and he's going to crack under pressure. Paul is also undefeated in 4 fights, although he acknowledged that in Fury he faces his first recognized boxer. The beautiful thing about this fight is the unknown, said Paul, who has knocked out 2 former UFC fighters. Is he actually a Fury, or will we find out that he's just a half Fury? Does he have the heart like his brother, or is he just living in the shadow of his brother? The beautiful thing about this fight is stepping into the unknown, because this is also my first time fighting a real boxer, whatever that means. He's undefeated, he's young, same age, same weight, same height, so it's really a perfect matchup. We're just going to see who worked harder, who wants it more, and who has that dog inside of them. Jake Paul has been criticized the entirety of his short professional boxing career for a lack of experience. Now he's using that knock on his next opponent. Upset that Tommy Fury wasn't able to attend a press conference Saturday for their boxing match on December 18, Paul held court with boxing reporters and his ever-present robot to paint himself as a savior of boxing in a sport where big stars often dodge fights. Promoters not wanting to risk their big fighters losing, because that's their paychecks, that's how they make their revenue. So it's too big of a risk for them, Paul said at the press conference hosted by Showtime, which airs the winter pay-per-view. We're a big team, but a nimble team. We move fast, we make decisions, and I'm not scared of anybody. People are saying fight this person, fight that person. I'm doing these fights literally as fast we can get the deals done. I take a lot of these pro boxers. From what I'm finding out, they don't work actually that hard, and they're not really down to fight all the time whenever the call comes in. Really, the only person that's as active at this platform is Canelo Alvarez. For a moment, Paul's main offensive against Fury, the younger half-brother of heavyweight boxing champ Tyson Fury, didn't want a real fight after leveraging his reality show stardom into a boxing career. Fury fought on the undercard of Paul's previous pay-per-view headliner against Tyron Woodley and, according to the YouTube star, hedged on signing a contract before putting pen to paper. With the ink still dry on the deal, Paul said he would show his opponent what real experience meant. With that, we end today's video. Don't forget to join in the next time for more of such interesting content.